So this next portion of this presentation refers to the more advanced exercises. Some of my comments will be for professional staff, but patients will be listening to this video as well. So I'll try to speak in terms of both clinical information and patient information. So most of the other activity that has been developed prior to this on this presentation relates to the vestibular system and its coordination through the brain stem, brain and vision. So that closed electrical loop of information sometimes becomes dysfunctional, and those are called vestibular disorders or central disorders when they involve the brain and the brain stem. The central nervous system also includes the spinal cord, so forgive me in referencing my next step as with that error, not including the spinal cord. But if we can draw a line across our shoulders, and in people who have trouble with balance, coordinating their vision or coordinating their trunk movements, we have to decide whether those problems come from, if I can use the term, north of the border or south of the border. That will help us design appropriate exercise programs and rehabilitation. So in individuals who have problems with BPPV or vestibular hypofunction or triple PD, those kinds of disorders that are north of the border, we will be concentrating on coordinating information that involves vision, for example, the ×1 and ×2 exercises, as well as coordinating head and trunk movement, where the semicircular canals in the ears are responsible for sensing that movement and processing information through that closed electrical loop. In the end, after we do that, there's also another system south of the border called the somatosensory system that is important in giving sensory information up to this processing center in the brain and including it in the vestibular processing mechanisms as well. And the somatosensory simply means the sensations that come up from the soles of the feet, the skin receptors in the soles of the feet, and the joints also have position centers called proprioceptive receptors that sense whether or not joints are in particular positions, and that's closely integrated with muscles and the coordination of muscles. So in people who don't have dizziness or whose dizziness has improved, or people who don't have vertigo or their vertigo has improved, often we have to integrate these somatosensory inputs to help them with their balance and coordination. In some people, the primary problem is south of the border. So people who have, for example, peripheral neuropathy, where their nerves are damaged outside of their central system, are having trouble getting appropriate information up to a normally functioning processor in the vestibular system and in the head and neck area. So this next series of exercises talks about these somatosensory rehabilitation procedures. For some, that's where we start because the vestibular system is working well, and then we add on the vestibular system. For others, it's added on after we correct the vestibular system and add in the somatosensory system to give a more holistic or global approach to balance and dizziness. Thank you.